Welcome to the Limitless Family with a B. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Chris, and we have been traveling with our two kids, Noah and Riley, on a transatlantic cruise back home to Florida.
Last week we showed you our time in Malaga, and this week we are in the Azores. If you don't know where the Azores is,
Neither did we.
neither did we.
Many call the Azores the Hawaii of Europe, at least is what we read. And if you look it up, it is a absolutely beautiful place.
These gorgeous, beautiful blue and green lakes and all of this wonderful scenery. Or so we thought it was. It is any other time except when we go there.
Weather permitting.
Well, let's first talk about the excursion that Chris was very excited to surprise us with.
I had found what I thought was you drive your own four-wheel drive utility vehicle across the Azores with an expert guide leading the way. We've done things like that before, so I thought this was the same thing. It was not. It was about 8 or 9 Jeeps, and you just had to climb into the back. Now, let me say that our driver was fantastic and informative and couldn't have been a kinder person. And we did enjoy ourselves, but it still was not what we expected.
Disclaimer, I had just gotten over a very bad bout of seasickness.
Perfect day to be at sea.
No, delightful.
So I was like kissing the ground as we were getting off the ship, only to get back into a Jeep.
In extremely rough terrain.
Extremely rough.
Islands, we make part of Portugal. Biggest.
Since we were in the back of the Jeep, all 4 of us, a lot of our ride consisted of relying on Noah to stick the GoPro out the window so that he could actually get good shots of the Azores.
But we got to the lakes, and it was beautiful.
We just so happened to get to the lake when there was just a massive amount of fog covering the lake, so much to where you couldn't even see that one was blue and one was green. We decided to go up to the top of the hill, and luckily when we got up there, you could see the fog clearing a little bit, so you still couldn't really see the color of the lakes, but you could see the greenery around it, and we definitely want to come back at some point to get the full picture of what it really is on Google Images.
So once we got back in the Jeep, we hit a few more spots that had good viewpoints of the same areas, as well as some new areas that were absolutely beautiful. But the terrain got worse as the day went. It was crammed back there. It was very tight. So the more rough the terrain was, the more my knees were bashing into hers and hers into mine, and Noah into Riley and Riley into Noah. It was a battered and bruised kind of day. We're not these bougie people that can't handle a four-wheel drive run through the mountains. We love that kind of thing.
I may have exaggerated my interest in adventurous travel by implying that I had any.
But this was different.
Well, you couldn't see out the back either. Like, the windows were so tiny. So at one point, me and Noah decided that we were just going to like sink in our seats a little bit to see anything and everything outside of the windows. And I fell off my seat because we at that moment had just hit a pothole or something. But it just continued to get crazier throughout the day. The kids' very favorite part of the day was, of course, when we got to get ice cream. And we ended up at this cute little restaurant, and the scenery and just views were absolutely gorgeous. And we definitely have the Azores on our list to go back to. I was very thankful to have 1 minute of that day just to be on land with no shaking, because I knew that we were about to get back on the ship, and there was
shaking.
Yeah, there was no other excursion or stop in our sights until the Bahamas a week later. So I was dreading it a little bit.
So as we got back to the cruise ship terminal, we had to make a decision because we still had a few more hours to kill. And Ponta Delgada is the capital of the Azores Islands. It's a beautiful town. So we had to decide, do we want to continue our exploration or go back to the ship?
Well, Noah needed pants.
I would like to extend to you an invitation to the pants party.
Yeah.
Noah forgot to pack pants, so we had to find a pants store on the streets of, what's this place called again? Oh my gosh, my brain's mush. Ponta Delgada, Portugal. And we literally found a pants store. So Noah got his pants, and we might actually be able to go have a sit-down dinner on the cruise ship.
We got back on the boat for 6 more days, and our next stop was the Bahamas. The Bahamas. And we can't wait to show you our time there.
Obviously, we had a good time.